She did not plan to cry in public that day, but grief has a way of choosing its own moment, and it chose a small park bench under a fading evening sky where laughter echoed from children who still believed the world was gentle. Her shoulders shook silently as she stared at the empty space beside her, a space that once held a life, a future, and a hand she thought would always be there. That was when two little twins, barely tall enough to reach the bench, stopped in front of her with innocent eyes and hearts untrained in cruelty, and in the simplest way possible, they offered her something she had forgotten even existed: comfort, hope, and a borrowed sense of family. Before the story unfolds any further, take a quiet moment and, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the healing power of human connection, please like this video, share it with someone who might need it today, leave a kind comment, and subscribe to the channel so more stories like this can reach hearts that are hurting. The woman had come to the park because the walls of her apartment felt too heavy, filled with memories that whispered instead of staying silent. She had lost her husband months earlier, yet the world had moved on with cruel efficiency while she remained frozen in the moment her life split into before and after. Friends checked in less often, family assumed time would do its work, and nights stretched endlessly as she learned how loud loneliness could be. That evening, the park seemed like neutral ground, a place where she could sit among life without being expected to participate in it. She chose a bench far from the playground, hoping distance would protect her from reminders of joy she no longer felt she deserved. But fate, gentle and persistent, had other plans. The twins had been playing nearby, their laughter floating through the air like music that refused to be ignored. Their father sat close by, watching them with the tired but devoted gaze of a man who had learned how to balance responsibility and warmth. The children noticed the woman long before the adults did. Children often do. They sensed something broken not with fear, but with curiosity and concern, and without asking permission or understanding social boundaries, they approached her as if sorrow were simply another puzzle that needed kindness to solve. What happened next was not dramatic in the way movies often portray turning points. There was no grand speech, no miraculous transformation. There was only a simple, heartfelt offer made without expectation. The twins, seeing her tears and mistaking them for the kind of sadness that could be fixed with company, suggested she could borrow their dad so she would not have to be alone. In their minds, sharing love cost nothing. To her, it felt like the universe had reached out and gently tapped her shoulder, reminding her she was still visible. She tried to steady herself, embarrassed by her tears and unsure how to respond to such pure concern. Their father noticed then, rising quickly, apologizing with his eyes before his words ever came. He guided the children back but did not rush the moment away. Instead, he acknowledged her pain with a respectful distance, the kind that says, "I see you," without demanding anything in return. She nodded, wiping her face, expecting the encounter to fade like everything else that passed briefly through her life now. But it didn't. Over the next few minutes, something shifted. The twins kept glancing back, smiling at her as if she were already part of their small world. Their father struck up a gentle, ordinary conversation, not prying, not fixing, just sharing space. Ordinary moments, she realized, were what she had been missing most. Not advice, not sympathy, but the feeling of being included in something living and present. As days turned into weeks, the park became a quiet meeting point. Sometimes they talked, sometimes they simply shared the same bench in silence, watching the twins play. She learned that the father was a widower too, carrying his own invisible scars while trying to be strong for two children who depended on him. He learned that she was learning how to breathe again after loss, one careful step at a time. Their pain did not cancel each other out, but it softened in shared understanding. The real challenge was not falling into this gentle connection, but allowing herself to believe she was worthy of it. Grief had taught her to expect endings, to guard her heart against hope. Every smile felt risky, every laugh felt like betrayal to the love she had lost. Yet the twins, with their effortless trust, showed her that love was not a limited resource. Borrowing joy did not mean forgetting the past. It meant surviving it. One evening, as the sky burned orange and purple, she realized she had laughed without guilt. The sound surprised her. It felt unfamiliar but real. In that moment, she understood that healing did not arrive all at once. It arrived in borrowed pieces, borrowed company, borrowed strength, borrowed faith, until one day you realize you are standing on your own again, steadier than before. If this story has begun to stir something inside you, a reminder of your own quiet battles or unexpected kindnesses, please pause for a second near the end and show your support. Like the video, share it with someone who may feel alone, and subscribe so these stories of hope can continue to find their way into the world. And before the final moment fades, leave a comment with a single word that represents what this story made you feel: hope, healing, kindness, or love, because your words might be the comfort someone else needs today. In the end, she no longer sat alone on that bench. Not because her pain had vanished, but because she had learned that even in the deepest loneliness, life finds a way to send small messengers of light. Sometimes they come in pairs, with scraped knees and open hearts. Sometimes they remind us that family can be borrowed, hope can be shared, and even broken hearts can learn to trust again.